What's going on, guys? Thank you so much for tuning in to Late Hoops. Today's video, we are going to be making an MVP tier list. I know it's a little late in the season for this video to be made, and it probably should have been made like, I don't know, 3 or 4 or 5 months ago. But nonetheless, with about 15 games left, here we are making it. Better late than never, I guess. I went ahead and moved everyone that I believe is not in the race anymore to the bottom, and we'll discuss why at the very end of the video, why they're in their specific place. However, these last 6 guys I think are still kind of in the race, but we'll ultimately end up picking our winner to finish this video out. If you're new here, please be sure to consider hitting the subscribe button, as we are on the road to 3,000 subscribers and we are uploading every single day for the month of March. Sorry if today's video is a little bit low energy, guys. I've just been very busy with work. 24 days in a row of uploading is not easy either. I promise more creative and more unique and definitely better edited videos will be out during the week. I'm off Monday and Tuesday this week, so look forward to videos on those days. First, we got Giannis. I'm going to put him in top 5. Obviously, all these guys are probably going to finish there, but I think Giannis is one of the most underappreciated superstars. It's very rare we would see someone average 30, 10, and 6 and not get praised, especially when you're a 50-win team over and over again. I just think with Giannis's case, it's kind of similar to what Jokic used to deal with and what Embiid is now dealing with the whole you have to win in the postseason to win a regular season award, which yes is very backwards, and yes, Giannis is already an NBA championship, but it's like with how the Bucks performed last season in the fashion that they went out against the Miami Heat, I think people are so kind of over it right now in the sense that they're just gonna, not give him the respect, and the voters' fatigue is gonna shine a little brighter through Giannis. Next, we have Anthony Edwards, and for me, Anthony Edwards is my number 4. He's not in the top 3, but I do believe he's number 4. I think Anthony Edwards' game is very, very, tenacious. It speaks for itself. Incredibly talented offensive player, plays with so much heart on defense, a great leader for how young he is. He's a walking highlight reel, and the Wolves will probably finish as the 1, 2, or 3 seed in the Western Conference. It's really hard to tell. And I don't really need to speak much on this because I've spoken tremendously about Anthony Edwards' game in the last couple of videos I've made. Then at number 6, we got Jason Tatum. I don't think Jason Tatum's MVP candidacy is something that's, how do you say, I guess, a real threat, and just not because Jason isn't a great NBA player. I think the surrounding cast makes people love to bring up the argument of, oh, if we took Jason Tatum off the Boston Celtics, they'd still make the playoffs, which means he's not that valuable. Now, is that fair for Jason? No, he's not the general manager. He's not the one pulling all the strings. However, it's a very, very community ran award, and that's just the way of how these people believe and how they think the MVP voting belongs. It's very interesting because when you look at Tatum's case versus the last 3 guys we haven't, spoken about, the teams, it's night and day. Yes, they're producing wins, but they're not producing wins due to their team, it's due to themselves. At number 3, I have Luka Doncic. I think Luka Doncic would be the runaway, walk away, whatever you want to call it, MVP frontrunner had I almost said Lakers, sorry, it's been a long day, had the Mavericks finished as a top 3 seed, and that's a very, very, very tall order in the Western Conference. Still got to give him his flowers. I think he will finish top 3. I would say him and Ant are kind of on the same playing field right now. What Luka's done with the Mavs this season, it can't be overlooked, but at this very moment, I guess we are overlooking it because I don't think that's, what wins an MVP. It's kind of seems like the award these days is the best player on the best team, unless you're like, when Jokic was the 6th seed and won it and he broke Wilt's PER record, or like Russell Westbrook won it as the 8th seed in 2016, but he broke Oscar Robertson's triple-double record. You got to do something historic. And I know Luka's had a historic season with scoring the 71 points and all, but I digress. At number 2, we got Shay Gilgeous-Alexander. I think Shay would win the MVP if the media cared to digest his play style a little more. I know that doesn't make a whole heap of sense, but if you guys understand, he is such a okay to just, you know, win his games and put up his 30 and that's it, you know, and that's kind of how it was with Jokic and Giannis for a while. They weren't these big, funny media personalities. And I think in a couple years, we'll start to see that with Shay. Like, there's like a silent swag to these players where they're, as it's kind of a meme in the NBA now, Shay's aura is just so calming and so, he doesn't need to say much outside of his game. You know, he lets his game speak for himself. And we're never going to see Shay crying openly about, you know, the MVP voting on Twitter or wherever, because guys like Shay and Jokic, they just, you know, don't really care. And number one, obviously we have Nikola Jokic. I think, I don't know. I mean, barring the last week or two of the season looking slow, I don't see a way that Jokic wouldn't win this award. He was robbed of it last season. Last season, we saw so many people take so literally the last, 5 to 10 game stretch that the Nuggets had where they didn't look that great because they were resting stars and not playing at 110%. That happened, and they're like, oh, give it to Embiid. Embiid's going to dominate in the postseason. And then we really saw what happened. As for the guys on the bottom, man, Devin Booker out of playoff, not a top 5 seed, not a top 6 seed. Stats aren't overly impressive. Same thing with Jimmy. Trey and the Hawks are in the play-in. Zion is a good dark horse MVP for the years to come if he continues to stay healthy like he is this season. JoJo's obviously out of the running with his injury. Dame and the Bucks, just no. LeBron and AD, they're definitely not going to win it as the 10 seed. Same thing with Steph. KD and Book have the same reason. And De'Aaron Fox, I don't think him or Sabonis will ever get any love in these awards, even though they're remarkable players. But what do you guys think? What do you make of this video? If you made it this far, I appreciate your support as always. Hope you all have a great rest of your day. Stay happy, healthy, and blessed. Peace.